Hello everybody, it's Game Junkie here. I hope we're having a fantastic Friday evening. Thank you for joining us in hopefully what should be quite an adventurous episode. If you've been watching my previous videos, you'll have seen that essentially we're into the fifth episode now, but that's timed quite nicely in that the update 2 has arrived for the Captain of Injuries game that's been out now for approximately 18 months to 2 years. So what we'll do is we shall jump straight into the game and have a bit of a run through as to what's new. So, as I say, if you watch the previous videos, then you'll have a bit of an understanding as to what we've done over the last week or so. Like I say, I haven't been able to have much stream time in the last week, but what we've looked to do is set up essentially our little island. So we don't have much in terms of industry at the minute, fairly, I would say, at the beginning of the game. So just a bit of a recap before we look at the sort of the recent additions, shall we say. For those that don't know this game, again, a bit of a recap then around what it's all about, just a bit of a run through. So in short, the game is all about almost like a survival game, but it's all about industry, manufacturing, various goods, processes that in short you can look to trade with other islands in the area. In short, we've got our little manufacturing area, which in the last episode we sort of went through to try and improve the efficiency, shall we say, with our manufacturing processes, as it wasn't the greatest when we first set out. So again, what we'll look to do is expand slightly our settlement, which is this area just here, and improve on our diesel production and our oil industries. That will also help out with our power supply, which we will need to look at improving and upgrading shortly. So as I say, it's a very exciting time today in that update 2 has been released literally within the last hour or so. So I've not had any time whatsoever to sort of do any digging or any research or anything like that. All I have seen is a brief snippet of bits and bobs. So really we're experiencing the run through of the update 2 together. So from looking initially, there's a bit of artwork that's upgraded, or animations, whatever you want to call it, and that is the assembly building. So the previous version looked almost like a little single hut with a metal roof, things like that. This actually looks to be a bit more of a industrial looking processing type building. And what I'll do is I'll show you the brief difference. So they are the same sizing, things like that, but they, as you can see from here, the appearance of each building has been somewhat upgraded from the previous version. The obvious thing that I can also see is that we've obviously got the icons as to what's being manufactured within each building. So that's always useful to know, because again, over here you can't really see at a glance, so you'd have to click into each building, and that can get quite confusing, especially with bigger processing plants and things like that. So that also sort of mirrors update 1, which was again probably about 12 months ago, where the addition of the icon on each, I call them warehouses, but they are storage units, that was put on the top, and again that was quite helpful. I can also see that the liquid containers also have a liquid, so I think it's that way around, which is obviously water in that one. I think the vents were on there on the top before, but they've certainly been revamped a little bit more. And from what I can see then, that's pretty much it in terms of the bits and bobs that I've got. What I am aware of, the update 2 is actually given us the flexibility to upgrade all our vehicles from diesel onto hydrogen. Now that's obviously very useful for as we advance in the game, because you can make hydrogen almost as a byproduct from other manufacturing processes, which is good to use, and again it will help us save on the nasty diesel production, not to mention the fact that oil, certainly as we advance into the game, our island stockpile, if you like, will get rather dry, so that will be a huge benefit to come away from the diesel production. So I think what we also need to look at once we've finished exploring other things for the update 2 is perhaps upgrade the ship. We can look at armour plating as well as fortifying that with the various cannons and weapons that we can put on top of that to adventure onto other islands. Okay, so again, just going into what we've got. In fact, if we go into the research tree, I think there's supposed to be a few additions, and I can already see one here, which is the transport lifter. As I understand, these things now essentially take us to levels 1, 2 and 3 on the conveyor belt system, as opposed to actually having to take 4 or 5 tiles of stepping that up, which will be a huge benefit when we're looking at sort of close impact conveyor belt systems, certainly throughout the end of the game. And another fun fact is that the smart conveyor route sorting systems, again, pre this update, they had to be on the ground floor, so if you had any belts on sort of the levels 1, 2 or 3, they'd have to come back to ground floor to connect onto the smart conveyor routing systems, whereas in now these can be erected on various levels, essentially on scaffolding, so that'll be really beneficial moving forward. And again, this is another new addition, custom surfaces. So from what I'm led to believe, you can paint the texture onto the land now. It does require resourcing, so for example concrete surfacing would require concrete, brick requiring brick, metal requiring iron, and various other different things. So as you can imagine, that will take up some resource, so I'm not looking at proposing to look into that just yet. But these surfaces again are supposed to add extra benefits, things like that, to the trucks. So it'll be interesting to see how that works moving forward. For those that are watching, again, welcome to you. By all means, feel free to use the chat if there's anything you wish to look at or ask me to look at or discuss or anything like that. Then again, I'm all welcome in relation to that sort of thing. Pipes, apparently there's pipe work now. Let's just have a quick look over our oil supply. So I'm told that over time pipes start to change depending on what the contents of the pipe are, and I think overall the aim of that is just to give the player a bit of an easier identification network. So as opposed to having to sort of work out what's in that from the icons and clicking, you should be able to work that out purely from the colour of the pipe paintwork. So again, we'll perhaps unpause the game, start as I mean to go on, and go from there. And again, I think on the last episode, albeit I've not been able to catch up on it, and then it was certainly the best part of a week ago, I can't remember where exactly we were on the last one, but I think we did unlock the concrete mixer with a view of essentially making the concrete production over here a little more efficient. Albeit, what was the issue with this? I think we had a bit of a shortage of limestone, so I think we started to upgrade that. Yeah, there's nothing in there at the time, but let's have a look where we're at. What's the crack? So sand, is that prioritised? Yeah, that's prioritised as lime, so let's just get rid of the contents of that for the time being, just so I can start bringing up some lime production. So again, for those that are watching, I hope you're well, hope you're enjoying your Friday evening. I thank you for spending a bit of time with me today. It's always good to see and hear from people watching us. So the copper ore production was being brought down nicely. So again, you'll see what I mean about these pipes. Look, the pipes are slight, sort of a pale blue, as opposed to the grey looking steel before. So again, that's another addition in update 2. What we can do as well in a minute is look at some of the excavation work, because I'm told that as the ground erodes away. There's slightly more texture, which I suppose is fairly true. The details of these rocks here look slightly more in depth and more 3D, whereas in previously it was sort of this texture, which is quite flat. So yeah, that certainly had an improvement. And I think I'm told that the shadows have been improved from various clouds, but again, it's not really a cloudy day to demonstrate that, so I'm sure we'll find that out as we progress through the game. So we're out of concrete by the looks of this completely now, so that is going to cause us a bit of a problem. And I think what I was looking at doing is perhaps making the concrete production slightly more efficient within this space, with a view of the slabs here feeding directly into that warehouse. So essentially turning this 90 degrees that'd be clockwise. So if we turn 90 degrees clockwise, and then we have the sort of the coal brought in down here, and the concrete blocks being pushed that way to then go into that warehouse to feed along this belt here. So we'll just wait for the ship armour, because as I say, we do need that to sort of advance onto the other islands, and then we'll look to upgrade the shipping bits and bobs to sort of... I'm interested to see the custom lifts and how they work, so we'll perhaps do that one directly after, in which case I'm going to start removing all these so we can go with it. Sulfur processing, that was certainly in the former model. I'm just having a bit of a run through to see if there's anything new. Compactor, that was also new. That was in the previous version. Incineration plant, that was as well. So yeah, here's our hydrogen cell. So once we look at upgrading that will give us our hydrogen fuel station, trucks, excavators, large tree harvesters, tree planter, and a hydrogen cargo ship. So again, even the hydrogen cargo ship would be a huge benefit, because the current ship at least consumes around 80 or so diesel, so that will help us moving forward. So from what I can see so far, everything is pretty much the same, other than the bits we've already previously discussed. As ever, I think there's been slight performance efficiencies and things like that in running of the game, so that'll always be good and most welcome. But yeah, so far it's just the key animations, or designs if you want, of the building assembly units. So the food supplies, well, certainly maintaining its current position, if not growing, so we're in a happy place there. We'll keep that there. We just need to work out what we're looking to do. So I think what we will do is we'll make use of our planning tool, and we'll get something in terms of our concrete production designed and set up, so we can copy and paste it in this little gap here. So I like to start backwards, so for the time being what we'll do is we'll just hit copy on that one, rotate. We won't actually build this, this is just for me in my head to work out where it's ultimately going to end, and then we'll go backwards in that. So the concrete mixer requires 3 cement, 6 sand, 18 slagged crush, and 12 water, as opposed to this one that requires simply only half of everything. So if we go with that somewhere like so, and again just copy that and bring that over. So this current version produces 3 cement every 60, and I've already forgotten what this was, and that's 3. So in short, what we'll be needing to do is at least making 2 of these to feed both concrete mixer. What we can do is flip that using the F key. We'll line that one up, we'll copy that, and again flip that over, and hopefully, yeah, they'll be able to use the same exhaust system. But just because I like to make things symmetrical, we'll cut that and give us a gap there. And we'll use the pipe to come over, across, and just to give us a junction, we'll put it there like so, over that one to that one, and then we can delete that middle bit. And then we'll put our smokestack just in the middle there, just to keep it nice and tidy. And I think that then is going to need just moving over so there's a nice gap. And then what we might do is cut that one, flip it, and put it there, so again we can share the same water connection as and when we put that in. So, and again we will just get our storage units, and for the time being we'll just put one, say there, and one about there. Brilliant. So again, anyone that's just joined us, welcome. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. So we get our U-shaped conveyor system, and what I will do, in fact that's going to be too close there, so let's just bring that back slightly for the time being. And again, this is where the conveyor belt transporter systems, which are new to update 2, because in short what you would be able to do is you would get your U-shaped conveyor belt, say that one, you would then be able to bring that out across, and as opposed to having to stack it, taking up those 4 tiles like so, you would just go straight up, similar to that of how the pipe updates, something like that, if you get what I mean. So it's just the 1 tile to escalate it to whichever level you want to take it to. But for the time being, until we've unlocked that, I think we'll just roll with this, and we can always remove it if needs be. So I like to go, we'll take the line up to that level there, and then across for the time being, and then again we'll go from there on level 1 though, there, somewhere like that. So again we can take our coal on that one, take our lime on that one, and then we might as well just take that one to our advantage, connect that on there, that one on there like so, deleting the excess, and then we can set this one to limestone, this one to coal, keeping them both full. That one wasn't all the way. Right, brilliant. So we just need to connect our water, which we can do once we've got all this built over in the gap provided. So we've got our water supply here anyway. What we haven't considered yet is the slag elements, haven't we? So we've got to add that over. So let's have a look where that is. So if we just set the recipe now so we don't forget, we can hit, say, that one also on there, and there we go. So I think in the previous update we never used to be able to utilise the slagged crush. Could be wrong, but I thought I had to use the gravel, because you have to get rocks into the crusher to put into there. But yeah, you can now utilise this, which again will help having to dump it all over and causing a mess. Right, so how are we going to do this then? Let's have a look. So if we tidy it up, we can get our, now that's a flat conveyor. We'll just put that down like so. And then I'm thinking how we're going to do this. So can we Go up to level 1. I don't think, no, that's not going to be enough, I don't think. Let's go back down. There, and put that up to the first level. Ooh, no. Okay, so what we can look to do again is just cut those, give us a bit of extra space, and again we just go from here up to level 1, something like that, and then we can bring that over in a direction very similar to that. I've just realised we used the wrong conveyor belt. Don't want to do that. So again, the same theory applies there. We can just bring that in from somewhere like so. And connect that up. Simples, right. The excess we can delete to that point. And then we can just get our silo and bring that down. Something like that. That will be great. And then we'll keep a 4. Ah, no, this is crushed, isn't it? So we need to create another one of... How many does this make? So this will crush 24. And how many does this require? Not that one, that one. 24, so... Okay, we're going to need potentially 2 crushers, but we can have that running from the same side. That doesn't matter too much. Okay, so if we have, say, one like so, we can do another one. I built this to this side thinking that we'd have a bit more space, but I think we're going to be slightly struggling. Let's have a look. That should just be fine. I think if we keep it tight to this left hand side as we're looking. Okay. Yeah, so the coal is kept at that level. Right, okay. So we are going to be short surely on construction parts. We've got 160. How many is this going to make or take to make? It's going to take 19 Unity, I know that much. Right, so limestone. Something like that. Just connect the pipes up this side. Again, sometimes you have to do this because it won't obviously connect up to the crusher there, so you have to extend it out just to put the box junction on there, and now that should offload onto that belt. And again, we just need to extend these conveyor systems. So like I say, that's just to remind me where we're going. So in theory that should be good enough to go. So what we'll look to do is we'll get rid of that, and that. In fact, I might as well just get rid of the whole thing. And then what I'm thinking is perhaps we can also get rid of the pipe. We'll get that moved to about there. Get rid of that on quick remove. That's it. Let's wait for that to be reduced. Come on. Let's do a quick remove on that one. And on that one. And 2 on that. Oh, and this one. Remove, remove. Right, so what we could do with doing is we'll just keep the original blueprint even there, and then we'll look to slide that in once that darn thing there has been demolished, which hasn't. So quick remove, there we go, and try again. So copy that all the way over there. Will that allow us some space? Okay, we can perhaps go with something like that. That'll give us some space down the side there. And then we can look at a storage unit. We'll go with a big one for the time being. We'll keep that tight over here, I think. And then what we'll look to do is we'll go U-shaped conveyor system. That won't work over there, so we'll have to come out 1 on level 2. We can go all the way there with a view of coming down. Why is that kink like that? I don't know, but it's working, and that's the main thing, he says. Yeah, we'll do it like that. I'm happy with that. Far from ideal, but it is what it is. Okay, so in theory then, this should be our slag there. We'll keep that full. That's full, that's full. Now all we need to sort of plan for is the belt system. So we can come from here over to there, connect like so, awesome stuff, and connect that one up also, and then just look at our water connection, which I think is handily just over here. So if we go from there, we can go up to our level 1, in fact it's level 2 I do believe, over there, and connect like so. So I like to get the water pipes built first, purely for the reason that is the pipes and stuff are then charged with water ready to go. And then I like to build these little things so that the trucks can start filling them up with the various element, what am I talking about? Element, that's what I meant. And again, we're not going to build everything just yet because I don't think we'll need it all straight away anyway. But the blueprints are there ready, so we're all prepped. The smokestack, we'll get that built, and we'll get this conveyor belt system also built. And we'll get this one built as well as this one. So the question is, which one are we going to go with to build the left hand side or the right? I would probably say it doesn't matter regardless. Okay, so how many bits? Right, so we have only got 37, so we're going to have to be quite crucial around what we're building. Okay, these are construction parts too, so even better. So we'll go with that one there then, along with that one, and that one. So brilliant, the limestone's filling up nicely, we'll welcome that. And then brilliant, so we can get that up and running along with that quite nicely. Happy days. Right, so we should start to build some cement blocks. What I have just realised is that we haven't built any. Well, saying that, we shouldn't need it in theory. Actually, think about it. I was thinking about a bit of a storage for the cement, but I don't think we will need it because these produce 3 bags, but these will also consume 3 bags within the same minute. So we should be okay. It's not as though these produce more than these can consume, so we don't need any stockpile or anything like that. But again, strictly speaking, what I'd have liked to have done is put a warehouse in between. Again, acts a bit of a buffer, so that way these can carry on despite this demand being full, and vice versa. Here we go. So it's not connected. Look, that's a bugger. Right, so this is what I'm saying. You have to be really careful with this sort of stuff, because if you don't notice it, certainly if it's like diesel production, that sort of thing, it can cause you a bit of a problem. So let's just delete that one, and we'll go down here ready to connect. So again, we'll go to that pipe, level, there's level 2 down. Connect there. There we go, it's got a 4-way connection on that. That'll be nice. Let's just, oh no, out of construction parts. That is frustrating. Right, so what the truck should in theory then start to do is bring some water over in a truck, but we might have to go and activate the importation element, which is just there, so we'll see. We're obviously extremely busy, so it's not going to be straight the way that this acts and starts. Again, just for those that are watching, this is only my 4th or 5th live stream, so I do apologise if this is clunky, not necessarily entertaining, but again, it's all entertaining for me. It's also learning, practice, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully as we progress we do get better, more entertaining. So what I would ask in return is please follow and subscribe. That way between us all we can grow together, as one would say. So again, my grand plan with this area is, as you can see, the texture here isn't the smoothest, so I do intend on using this as a bit of a levelling off. Once we've done that, we can use this as a bit of a farm area. The green area is obviously fermented land, so we can use things to grow all sorts of things on there. So again, now we've got everything in place, I'm happy to remove the blueprint. Okay, so the lime there is building up nicely. Come on. And that is going, so that will produce some blocks at least, which is good. There we are, and off it goes. So that should right, what you need to do here is we need to pause that conveyor so these blocks stay in stock, just so we can hit the quick build function. There we go, so the water's there and that will help improve that. We can then unpause that just so we can get the construction parts underway. Yeah, so these new units on update 2 obviously got slight animations to them with some sort of pressing action there. I don't think, and I will try it, but I don't think that by selecting another part it changes the animation in any way. Obviously, well, I won't need to try it because obviously you can see here this is making mechanical parts, this is construction parts, and they're sort of exactly the same animation sequence, so interesting nonetheless though. Right, so what we can perhaps start looking at doing is getting these conveyor belts built, ready to go. The exhaust gas. What's going on here then? Why is that not working? It should be connected. I wonder if, for example, we then have to put the smokestack one back, which will be annoying because that was never the case before. So let's try it, see what we get. And then if we put the pipe back in, oh, we're going to have to be waiting for the construction parts again. That is frustrating. Right. What we'll do is we'll pause, or well, both of these here, just so we can start building up our construction parts. What are we waiting for here then? We are waiting for alright, okay. Let's just speed up time in the interest of the stream. There's your cement. And again, we'll get that one underway. Along with that one. And hell, why not that one too? So the mechanical parts there are full, so we can take the Unity boost off of there. Looks like we've got another view on YouTube, so hello to whoever you are. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Brill. So the mechanical parts are being built up there nicely. Almost too nicely in one way. I don't know why we've got so much, but again, that's most welcome. So why don't we have any lab equipment? Right, so the lab equipment is here. No, it's not. We've only got one in there. And that's presumably then because we've got too many vehicle parts. Okay. Perhaps a change of tact in that we saw... Oh. Yeah, perhaps we can look to separate that one then, that this sort of comes here and feeds on somehow, because obviously we're going to always constantly use these as opposed to these. Righto, let's see how we do that. Can we... Let's select that. Vehicle parts, lab equipment goes straight on. Get rid of vehicle parts. That one, lab equipment remove. And then we can put in the, what was it, vehicle parts there. There we go, that should clear that backlog. That's why I was slightly concerned, because obviously we started to get a bit of a stockpile of the mechanical parts. Clearly that was because of this backlog just here then, so that should be working through that. But what we need to do here now is clear the belt first. No. Yes, sorry, that was right. And then remove the vehicle parts, and we can remove that instantaneously. And the truck should be coming to remove that nicely, like so, just like that. Happy days. No, not like that actually. That one needs to go there. Lab equipment. There we are.
Dad?
Yeah.
Is there worm in here?
Yes. Go upstairs, baby. Daddy, come up soon. Do you want this phone?
Yeah.
And then take that. Good girl. Loves you. So. We'll upgrade that just because when we get to vehicle parts 2, I think we do lose, as in the ratio is a lot higher, so you need a lot more vehicle parts to vehicle parts 2, if that makes any sense. There we go, so the belts are moving considerably faster there. So we've got a full 180 construction parts 3, which is good. And our construction parts here are starting to build again, so again also good. Right, so we should start to build quite a bit of cements. So again, we'll boost that just to get rid of the backlog. Nasty horrible smoke. Right, we can remove the boost there. And on it goes. And again, we'll get that one rocking and rolling. And there we go, something like that. And that one too. And again, ideally, we should have perhaps put a sun line in there. I've only just thought about that. But again, it is what it is. I don't think we'll be able to get one in there until we unlock the conveyor belt transporter system things, which now we've finished our research, we should hopefully be able to do. So let's just go back as to where it was. I thought it was around here somewhere. Conveyor belts. Pipes 2, no. Transport lift. Oh, we already have, by the looks of this then. Flat lift. Right, here we go then. Let's have a look, shall we, for the first time ever. It wasn't a flat, was it? It was a U-shape, loose lift. Okay. So, how does this work then? So, loose lift. Something like that then. So your F key will bring it down, whereas in your F key again will take it up. So what we need to do then is flip that round. F key. We can connect like so. Like that. And then we can take our conveyor belt over like that. Something like that. Again, perhaps we can then bring that over. Again, more so, this is just good demonstration purposes, I suppose. Leave that ground level somewhere like that. So again, just bear in mind I've not used these systems at all, so I don't know how they'll work. Come on. Why is it not picking it up? Level 1 down. Just for easy sakes, let's take that. We'll copy that and we'll have 2 of them. Why not? Just because we can. Or apparently we can't because of this darn loop. Okay. Bit of a conundrum. We'll try and find out what's occurring. Copy, I suppose. No, not copy. Cut. Right, okay. Okay, we're not going to be able to do that way. So let's go U-shape. We've got to come down and out. Somewhere like that, just for the time being. Like that, and oh, come on. Like that. Down. Why are you not working, you darn thing? Something like that. We can get rid of that, and then we can put in our sun storage. What about that? That should work, shouldn't it? And keep that full. Plonk that just there. Wowzers, we're full already, look. So let's just unpause. And unpause and get some research on the go, shall we? Just because we will hit that, see what it looks like. And then again we can go on to start researching what we had beforehand. And there we go. Get these conveyor systems up and running and we'll take a look. There we go, the concrete's coming up nicely now. We'll keep that hopefully the same way moving forward. So we need to get this second crusher online, because as you can see the slag belt's not quite full, which will inevitably have that impact on the cement system, or the process I should say, not system. Right, so there we go, that's loading that up nicely. And off it goes. So let's take a look, see what this pipe lifter thing is going to do. See what the animation is, see if it's detailed. Well, unless I'm missing it, that belt's not actually moving, is it? So it's got two. I mean, it's got two in there. Let's have a look. I was saying that this one's not moving overly well. Right, well that's, by the looks of it, being held up now by this, which is again the limestone. Roger. As you can probably work out with my streams, nothing's ever straightforward. As soon as you try and do something, there's always something that stops or prevents what I'm trying to do. Not good, but okay, here we go. Right, so let's check out this building over here. So we've got full stock over there. What we're doing here, so we can remove the boost. I don't think that needs to be boosted. Again, everything down here is okay, and that's about to be full in any case. So we can leave that like so. We don't need to build this water well. The volume here is maintained quite nicely. So we've got no copper ore, so let's just stick that up there. And no iron ore. And that is because certainly over here we've got nothing selected. Mining area. Let's extend this in. No, not that one. Let's get rid of that. We can excavate that area there and look to. Keeps doing that. Why is it doing that? Alright, we'll do it that way, like that. There we go. That gives a nice ramp up to those layers there. Brill. So that should keep the iron production quite high, because we're dipping slightly, as you can see there. That's not good. Right. So the food supply is also good. That's why. So over here, let's look to, shall we, excavate something like that. Oh no, that's going to be too deep. Perhaps one flat, something like that. Oh, that's level 2, so in that case we're going to have to go like that. Level 2, and we'll run that up to level 2, just like that. There we go. So that should give us a nice slope down. Again, also opening up this area for as and when we need to move into there. So food market 2. So we can look to upgrade that, which in short will give us another input area. For the time being, we will just duplicate that as potatoes. But obviously you can have vegetables in there as well, but we don't have any of those being grown. So get rid of that. Ship armor, transport lifts, and custom services. So now, well, hopefully our iron production should have increased, and it has. You can already see we're coming up there nicely. So what we'll look to do, we'll load the crew there. I don't know why they ever came off. Guns there. Oh yeah, there is a gun there. Sorry, I was looking at the back end. I was like, the cranes are still there. So we do have some guns on there, which is good. I suppose now then we will upgrade our armour. So we can put armour plating on there, and we'll get that underway now. The trucks once more are busy, so we'll just get another one at least up and running. Brilliant. Coming along nicely, as some would say. So again, what I will just double check is, yeah, I thought I put that on one of the previous episodes, so we'll just take that off just so our growth will increase steadily. It won't be fast, but again, we have got the capacity of an extra 6 workers within the current settlement. So before we have to look at upgrading to get more staff, we've got a comfortable 32 at the minute, so we'll just let that tick on nicely. So again, we can see here that our cement production is, well, not production, but stock is at 0. Presumably that's because of the limestone, and it is. So let's just see what the delay is. It's probably because we've only got 1 truck, I'm guessing.
I don't know how to do the cake game. I keep looking.
Okay.
Look.
Right. And then take upstairs, baby. Good girl. So, let's have a look. We'll get another 2 trucks on the go, just because we've taken one off the road to help with the limestone mine. Now there is no trees to harvest, so where do we want to select that? I suppose it doesn't really matter too much, but we are going to look at opening up this mine area, so we'll do something like that. So there's a current disease of a cold within the settlement. That's obviously why we're looking at losing people. So we've also unlocked the diesel generator, and the diesel generator there is a lot more efficient than, say, this one. So that takes 3 for 800 kilowatts. This obviously takes 18 but delivers 5 megawatts, so it's obviously a lot more efficient to take diesel generator 2. What I might look to do, because obviously these take 2 men, as does this, that actually produces 4 pollution. The diesel generator just gives us 4 air pollution. Now that's interesting because I've never actually noticed the difference between air pollution and pollution, but clearly there is something there. That is one thing I've noticed here. If we just reduce the time, the flares here, that's a lot more animated and vibrant in terms of the animation there. Different colour smokes. Well, that's really good to see. I like that. So again, just going back on that colour coding system, as you can see, the oil here is a black pipe with the orange arrows. The diesel is an orange pipe with red arrows, and then presumably this is the sour water, which is a green colour with a blue arrow. So I do like that. Again, from a visual inspection here, you can clearly see which pipe carries which liquid and fluid. So from a initial observation from, or overview, you can see that quite nicely, which I do like. So what I'll do is we can remove this generator here along with the pipe there, simply because we don't need it, and that will give us another 2 back. And then again we can look to do the same with this generator, but we'll put the diesel generator just here. Brill. So we'll get that rocking and rolling, and then we'll just connect it up with the pipes, hopefully. Yep. No, what are you doing? Let's just take that back to somewhere there, and we can go from there. Oh, this really frustrates me when it does this. Well, this is clear that this hasn't been fixed within the update. Right, there we go. And then just because we learnt from the last one, I will put 1 extra pipe there before we go into the smokestack, because I didn't like it the other way around a minute ago. Right, so quick deliver, quick deliver, quick deliver, and quick deliver. Bro, so that should mean that this generator is all good to go, and then it will give us a lot more efficiency with our power as and when it's needed. Obviously at the minute it's not needed. Right, what shall we look to do now? Let's go on to, I would say, recycling. And then we can go on to water recovery, why not? So again, to all the viewers, if you made it this far, think we've been streaming for just over an hour. Thank you for your time. It's always great to have people check us out. So we are making a bit of a dent in the earth, as one would say. Right, so this water here isn't full, but presumably that's because the demand with these constant farms needing irrigation. Okay, worth bearing in mind to keep an eye on that one. So the burner, brilliant, we can get rid of that. So this is still causing an issue, isn't it, with the limestone? Why? Because you have no trucks by the looks of that. Right, so let's get another truck for this area. So we are without copper plate. That is worrying. So what can we do to support that? Not a lot, probably, by the looks of it. Okay, so let's set up an alert there. So that is 25%. That once more is also out, so we will just flatten that off all the way across there. That'll keep them nice and busy. There we go, see if that sorts that. There we are, alright. So we've got some sand reserves. Back to where we were 10 minutes ago then, and we'll have a look at the, there we go. So it is working then. By the looks of it, it seems to be almost like a bucket system that is on a rotation drum that goes around, tips it in. Now, that's good to see, I like that. But it certainly helps in that, you know, for us to get to level 2, we would need to be perhaps sort of out of here. So it does allow us to build a lot more in compact areas, which is good. Again, another thing I've just noticed is with these tubes revolving, that seems to be yet again another polish on the textures and things like that, because the rust and sort of the where the paint has eroded on these rollers or bearings, that almost looks chrome, which is good to see. Yeah, again, a lot of attention to detail. So this is one we've not seen in action actually, is the Assembly 3. This looks to be more of a automated crane manufacturing animation, whereas in these others here are almost of a press type animation. Right, so the copper should hopefully be sorted out sooner rather than later, and that's these two here. So this consumes 24, that makes 12, so that does do 24, and that produces it. Okay, so I'm not going to look at, if we looked at Unity boosting, we'd have to boost that, as well as that. So for the time being, we'll hang fire. Everything seems to be moving in the right direction. So again, the water texture there looks quite good, certainly with the waves. I do like that. So these are our surfaces by the looks of it, and each surface, as I said earlier on, really has a costing implication. So most of these are taking, well, a mixture really. Concrete for this one, bricks for this one, cobblestone is concrete, concrete again, concrete, and then we move into the metallic surfaces. So this is an iron surface. That looks to be aluminium or steel, as does that and that. So it's good to see that the options are there. As I say, at this stage in the early game, I'm not looking at utilising resources in such a way currently. Alright, so empty vehicle parts there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off because we don't need that producing vehicle parts. And then we can prioritise that as it has done. So can we remove that? Let's just make another vehicle. That'll make it far easier. We just need to stop building the vehicle parts. We're not getting anywhere near where we need to be. Ah, yes, we also upgraded the food market, didn't we? So it's automatically done that then. Brilliant. So as you can see, we've obviously got the vehicle depot, forestry control tower, ramps and retaining walls. Again, we'll look at those in far more detail as and when we need to. At this stage, I'm not looking at implementing anything there. We have a large smokestack, which obviously has a lot more inputs and capacity to deal with bits and the bobs. So that's basically 600 every 60 compared to the 60 every 60. I wonder if they've upgraded the animations of the waste pipe. Let's have a quick look. See if there's anything in either pipe. Got 12 in that one. Oh. No, not really. Oh, that's a shame, given how much detail's on the smoke and fire. What we'll do is we will send out our ship. In fact, did the iron upgrade get put on? Yeah, okay, so we have got our iron plating, which is good. Might as well add the rear gun. We'll stick that there. There we go, we'll get the rear guns on the back. And at least that will give us some bang bang power when we're going about. So that is our sand. So our iron production is up to full amount there. What would be really nice is to get in a position where we can look at upgrading our trucks, because that is a huge value. But in order to do that, I know that we do need our glass making, which is over here. So perhaps we can look at, after recycling, we'll go to Research Lab 2. And then after that, perhaps then we can look at salt production with a view of then going to glass making, because that would be fantastic if we can look at upgrading some of our vehicles. That will really help us out. Oh, I did. Okay, so again, what I'll look to do is, if we borrow some of that, it may well be that we need, and yeah, realistically, I don't think I can sort of prep for it just yet because I haven't unlocked it, but I do think it will be the assembly 3s that we need to convert the lab equipment into the second lot of lab equipment, and again we can look to do that somewhere around here, because at the minute we are a bit of a struggle with research, and that presumably still is because we've got a bit of a backlog with the conveyor belt. Come on. There we go. Will that move it? Should do. There is a gap there. Come on. There we go. Stop with the silly vehicle parts. We can put an alert on that one for 25%, notify if, and then we can do something about it at that point, but otherwise I'm not going to clog that line up anymore. Ship modification complete. Let's take a look at that. Should look more like a battle cruiser as opposed to a fishing vessel as it once did. Indeed it does. Very nice. Right, let's send that out. Not enough crew. There we go. That leaves us with 11 workers now, so not great, but we'll explore nonetheless. Right, send that on its way. And just like that, look, we've got our concrete slabs up to a full volume. That's a nice healthy number there. Might as well get that stored up there, aren't we? There we go. Starting to go down on that decline there. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll call that a bit of a day. Been streaming for about an hour and a half now, I think it is. So in terms of what we've been able to capture today, again, it's amazing how quickly the time goes by. But in terms of recap, we've obviously produced a few more trucks and vehicles. We've consumed some of the iron ore there. We've implemented and duplicated a far more efficient process for our concrete. Got a good stock pile built up there, and then we obviously explored some of the update 2 animations and processes. Now I'm sure that's not everything in terms of this episode. I'm sure there's a lot more that I just don't know about, but again, over the next few days I'll certainly look to get some more videos up to you guys. Unfortunately, I'm off to London tomorrow for the weekend, which will be nice to get away with the wife. But what I'll say is I hope you enjoy. If you did, again, please follow, subscribe. We can build a better channel moving forward. Thank you very much and have a good weekend.